All right, biochem students, this is where we're going to go over some of the material that we were going to cover on Tuesday the 26th in class. So if you remember, and I'm just going to use this white space up here, if you remember the central dogma, we had DNA gets transcribed into messenger RNA, which gets translated into protein. Okay, DNA also had the replication part. Remember, this first arrow is transcription that uses RNA polymerase 2, and we spent time talking about RNA polymerase 2 last class, okay? The whole thing is what you might call gene expression, and the best example of gene expression is the lac operon, okay? So I'm going to focus in on the lac operon. You already saw this slide, but this, by definition, is the lac operon. We've got a collection of genes, so these are kind of the blue ones. These are the collection of genes that are closely related, and they're under the control of a promoter. Now, these colorful regions up here, that is where you see is the promoter. The lac operon is also unique and interesting because it has a regulatory gene upstream of the promoter, okay? And so just to be super clear, a promoter is the binding site for RNA polymerase, okay? There are other components that are involved and vocab words that you definitely need to know in order to be able to explain the function of the lac operon, okay? So if you're looking at this and you're trying to be like, where do I start? The first thing is, like, if you see this operator here, you need to tell me whether something is a segment of DNA or whether something is actually a protein. Right now, we're just looking at a segment of DNA. Sometimes it'll help make a protein. Sometimes proteins will bind that segment of DNA. Okay, so let me go to the next slide and you can see the whole story. I'm going to cut this in half because in the top half, just to be clear, transcription is off. Okay, and they have some sort of equilibrium looking images here. Same three blue genes, same sort of upstream regulator gene, this sort of regulator gene that's kind of purpley pink, and they're actually showing an equilibrium with RNA polymerase coming and going because in this case transcription is off, so RNA polymerase is mostly gone, not there. Transcription's off. We are not transcribing DNA into messenger RNA. The bottom half, if you see, there's your RNA polymerase over here, so this is where transcription, oh sorry, maybe I'll write it down here, transcription is on, okay? So let's see some of these other players. This guy here, he is known as the repressor. First thing you need to notice, since he's a blob, is that he's not a segment of DNA, but that the repressor is a protein. And if you see, the repressor was made over here from the LAC1 gene. So the repressor is a protein that binds the operator. This little yellow O is the operator that was yellow on the previous slide, okay? So if you look at the notes, the repressor gene, LAC1, that's the purple guy here, okay? The repressor gene encodes a repressor protein, and the protein binds to the operator, resulting in transcription being off because the repressor is blocking the green RNA polymerase from actually turning on and transcribing the DNA. When lactose is present, so here's our lactose, lactose is known as the inducer because lactose binds the repressor. Now, it's actually not lactose, just so you know. It's an isomer of lactose called allolactose, but most people will just say lactose binds the repressor. It's more correct, since you have a foundation of organic chemistry, to make a note that it's allolactose. So now you see an equilibrium here where the repressor has fallen off of the operator, see, inactivated repressor, resulting in RNA polymerase being able to make, this is the orange figure here, is sort of the messenger RNA, and perform its transcription, okay? So you need to know words like operator, repressor, inducer, promoter, all of those kind of words are important, and you need to know whether it's protein or segment of DNA. And we can review those, but you generally have the list here. I'll give you another list in a minute. So that is essentially the whole story of the lac operon, is you want to have this on or off, and you need to know when it's on and when it's off. Okay? So remember, we're still in transcription. We're looking at initiation, but we actually have a whole pre-initiation complex that we need to go over. And there's general transcription factors, or GTFs, that are proteins that are needed to start transcription. Okay? So here's one example. Transcription for RNA polymerase 2. Remember, that's TF2. That's where the TF2 is. And then the letter D is just because it's type D. There are also TATA binding proteins from that TATA box in the promoter region, as well as some other elements that are involved. Okay, so all of these, we're looking at transcription initiation. Okay, there are a whole bunch of conserved general transcription factors that you need to know what they do. I'll show them to you on the next slide, but in general, you're thinking we have a segment of DNA here that's about to be transcribed into our messenger RNA, turned on. Okay, and you need to know what's involved. What does this look like? You can't just say DNA goes to messenger RNA. Okay, that's like Biochem 1 and genetics material. Now you need to know other players that are involved. Okay, so here are some of the other general transcription factors. You can pause the video and write the notes. If you actually look at the structure, this image did not come from your book, but you've got the segment of DNA, and then the RNA polymerase is kind of the bigger gray blob. Then they actually list just a bunch of other, here's your TATA binding protein, a bunch of other different transcription factors. You'll see it's going to form this huge complex together on the DNA. Okay, so we're going to see that in a minute. I'm going to give you a couple more definitions, just so you know. The top half here is sort of transcription on and facilitated and going, or transcription off. Okay, this is where you see that repressor protein that we saw in the lac operon. We're going to see other words like activator and enhancer. Okay, those are going to be important in transcription initiation. Remember, we're forming this huge initiation complex. It's called the pre-initiation complex, or PIC. Okay, you're going to see an enhancer region that's going to be distant from the promoter. You're going to see a protein that's going to bind the enhancer, a big blob, and he's going to be involved. Where is the activator in relation to RNA polymerase? That's what you're going to be looking for. So here's a simple cartoon. Here's your segment of DNA up top that you are going to be transcribing. But right now we're up at the promoter region, and way upstream is actually an enhancer region. So eventually you're thinking, okay, RNA polymerase, the green blob, is going to bind at the promoter region, because remember, transcription is going to be going this way once it turns on. We're not on yet. Okay? The whole bunch of general transcription factors is represented by this orange blob here. But before RNA polymerase can do his job, we actually have to have a communication between this activator and the RNA polymerase. Okay? And that's what this arrow is here. If you actually look, so here's your RNA polymerase on the left, your transcription factor, or excuse me, on the right. Transcription factors on the left. A whole nother protein called a mediator is this yellow oval. And then this guy here is your activator. Okay? The whole DNA structure actually kind of bends around, and we have a communication connecting the whole thing together, because this blue guy here, he is the enhancer region, that segment of DNA. This red thing down here, remember, that was the promoter region. Okay, so the mediator is kind of like the name implies, he is connecting the whole thing together. So this image did not come from your book. This is the image from your book, and you may need this to help you solve some of the homework questions. It actually shows two enhancer regions, E and H, okay? Two activator proteins with the two regions. So protein, activator protein. The purple is your DNA. This bottom oval is actually the RNA polymerase 2, and then all of these are the transcription factors that I listed a few slides ago, like TF2H, TF2F, all of those. What do you think this blue thing is if TBP is TATA binding protein? That's where you're thinking that's the promoter, the TATA box, okay? Here's more general transcription factors, and there's the mediator. Okay, so you can start to see the story come together. Once again, this is all part of the PIC, pre-initiation complex. Okay. There's another image in your book that actually shows it step by step through initiation, elongation, etc. And so if you want to look at that and read it, you can. But this is the image. This is all that's on this slide. So after the initiation complex, we actually don't have enough. Just so you know, RNA polymerase will make a few short transcripts before finishing a full RNA. And that's just sort of a regulatory step. That's kind of this is supposed to be a simple, are we ready to go, so to speak. It's not just boom, go, like all of the videos usually show RNA polymerase with nothing else, and then you've got a messenger RNA transcript. Okay, so then we can actually get to elongation, final event before elongation. This is supposed to be elongation over here. Final event, same deal, mediator, transcription factors, promoters in red. RNA polymerase has a C-terminal domain that it actually sticks out here. One of the jobs of the transcription factors is actually to phosphorylate that C-terminal domain. So here's ATP involved. By the way, all of this central dogma always involves the use of energy. That would be like a good MCAT question. Okay, so we phosphorylate the C-terminal domain and bam, now we've got actually transcription. Elongation of transcription. Okay, so that's what the phosphorylation does. Would make a great multiple choice question or something like that on a quiz or an exam. Okay. All right. I want to show you this phosphorylation one more time. Where does it phosphorylate? There's actually a conserved sort of repeat sequence here on the C-terminal domain, series of amino acids. If you notice, there's a variety of serines, and serine 5 is the one that's phosphorylated, and then you can end up allowing the mediator to leave and RNA polymerase to perform transcription. Okay, so that's the event in more detail. So we've seen initiation. This is elongation, which is much easier. Elongation is much easier than initiation. And now termination. If you don't know, this is actually the Terminator movie on the on the left. So once again, thinking for the quiz on Thursday. Actually, I'll just show you everything here. There are two types of prokaryotic terminator sequences. Okay, so you're thinking, here's our DNA that's getting transcribed, and you're thinking, all right, what's the terminator sequence? There's two types. The first one is intrinsic and row dependent. I'll show you in 2 slides. So the first one, this is intrinsic is 1, row dependent is 2, and these are all for prokaryotic. Okay, I'll mention the eukaryotic in a minute. If you see on the DNA, we have a stretch of A's and T's. That's at the end. Basically, the whole gene is done, and you can look almost here on the bottom right. RNA polymerase is going to form one of these stem loop structures. It's a bigger image of it here on the left, okay? So there on the left, here's the stem loop structure, and this stretch of U's was transcribed from the sequence of whether you want to look at them as A's and T's. And that connection there, which is sort of like your A's and U's, that A and U is really weak, and so that allows the RNA transcript to fall off, okay? So you have a stem loop, signals, okay, this is a weak connection, RNA is done being made, falls off, and transcription is over. So that's the intrinsic option. This is the image from your book also showing the intrinsic option. There's your AU stretch. This is your messenger RNA. And you can see the DNA template here, the DNA. And then we end up with this RNA duplex, the RNA DNA A's and U's, and then the whole thing dissociates, leaving you with your transcript that's done. Okay? So that's the intrinsic option. The second option of terminator, remember, is, and I've got about 30 seconds, the row dependent. The row is this yellow sphere protein, okay? And this yellow sphere protein, basically, if the hairpins aren't strong enough to come off, then row will come in. There's going to be some kind of recognition site on the messenger RNA, here and here, you can see it, and tell the whole thing fall apart. In eukaryotes, this is not the poly A tail. There's another signal that is involved for the termination. And I think I am out of time. Happy studying!